feel like it's so wrong. And I think it's wrong that we don't get the same choices to say no that some of our counterparts do.
I think that that's a false statement. We do get the same choices. We don't use our privilege of having that choice. And we don't use it because of fear. You get what I'm saying? We're so fearful of being punished or being scrutinized or being ostracized that we don't use our privilege of choice. You get what I'm saying? And just
trying to use his privilege.
So okay, but at the same time, if somebody, it starts. Everybody's so afraid of, oh, I'm not gonna be the person to speak up. I'm not gonna be the person to do this. I'm not gonna be the person to do that. But if one person starts, other people will follow. We don't have enough leaders in the Black community to do that. You know, and then the life of a leader doesn't look as glamorized as the people that decide to ignore it. You get what I'm saying? So they don't use the privilege of choice because it doesn't look as glamorized.
I would say also, I want to add to that, it's a balance because I don't think, it's not enough leaders, but then there's not enough supporters. Because I look at, just the industry and everything going around, I'd be amazed how, we lose Michael, Prince, I could name them, there's no outcry. Look at Kanye West now. Where's the outcry? Because you have somebody stepping up for you, but now, they put him in this situation, ain't nobody raising an eyebrow about, if they do something to Kanye. So yeah, you don't got leaders because most of them scared to go out there because they ain't get the support of their own people.
Right.
We don't, when stuff happen to us, the government, whomever, don't answer to their community, our community whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Other communities, you got to answer to. You know what I'm saying? You kill this person, you got to answer to.
But we're also not providing an environment that breeds leaders. You get what I'm saying? And just as I was having a conversation with her earlier, to be a leader, you got to know how to follow. Nobody wants to be a follower, or they say they don't want to be a follower, even though they're subconsciously following all the time, looking just like everybody else. You get what I'm saying?
Let me ask you, what's in the environment to breed a leader? What did that environment look like?
I'm just gonna talk about
said environment to breed.
I'm gonna talk about my personal environment that I grew up in. I grew up in an environment, again, where children should be seen and not heard. My mom's favorite saying, what happens in this household stays in this household. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of the issues in the Black community is mental health that was inbred in us because of shit that we went through with slavery and all those other things. You get what I'm saying? So I came from an environment that did not breed a leader because I didn't know that I could go outside of my house and ask for help, or say that this is what I want to do and cultivate my creative side. You get what I'm saying? That's breeding a leader. It's creating an environment where people can go cultivate whatever it is that they're passionate about. You get what I'm saying? But we'd rather, now you're going to be a football player, you're going to be a basketball player, but that's not really what I want to do.
But it's those children, it's those people who take the stand to be leaders and say, no, I'm not doing that. This is what I'm doing. Regardless of how you were brought up. There's always that drive in a leader that presses them to lead.
But some people don't have the mental capacity.
Some people don't, but when you speak of leaders, that's not common. You know what I'm saying? Leaders aren't common. So every situation.
But that's what I mean by breeding an environment. You get what I'm saying? Because some people don't have the mental strength to be like, oh, I can think outside of this box that I was brought up in. You get what I'm saying? But if you are creating an environment where your parent comes to you like, you know what? I'm not gonna put my fears on you. What do you want to do? You get what I'm saying? Then we would have more leaders and it wouldn't look as rare, because in the white community it doesn't look rare because they have the finances and they have the conversations where they're like, you are allowed to do whatever you want to do. You get what I'm saying? In the Black community they don't have those same.
I don't fully agree with that. I don't fully agree with that. I feel like we're playing too much on what the Black community lacks. You know what I'm saying? And granted, we lack a lot of things, but we're also powerful in another sense. We making it seem like there are no successful Black people.
No, but you just said that Black leaders
like what happened to, yeah, but why are they? But how did you? So before, right now, there are Black leaders, but like right now, you know what I'm saying? Who were brought up in worse times, like where they couldn't even go outside, but they still made something of themselves. You see what I'm saying? So I guess my disconnect with what you're saying is I'm trying to really understand how you're trying to connect, you know what I'm saying, leadership to upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Like being a leader. Because you're saying that
because of the fact that there are more people in even the workplaces that we work in that are white, that have been brought up in the environment that you can do whatever you want to do. You can be a leader, you can be a boss. Don't accept that job. Don't accept that entry-level position. You get what I'm saying? And that's why black leaders are rare. You get what I'm saying? Because granted, it may not. And then what does a leader look like to us? You get what I'm saying? We're looking at sports players with money.
With ignorance too. You know what I'm saying? Like just because it's rare doesn't mean it's not there. You know what I'm saying? From what I know, it's rare. But if you dig deeper into it, I'm sure you'll find, unsung heroes and, things of that sort. People who didn't get their correct credit, for being leaders. But I just feel like I said, I'm just trying to figure out,
Right.
because I say that to say, I was brought up where my parents were like, okay, you should go to school and you should, do computers or do whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's a struggle, of course, when you're growing up for someone to tell you what they want you to do. Now, granted, I just was a bit more vocal, child, so I did what I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I still struggle with that. Okay, well, my parents want me to do this, but then was this, Caucasians deal with the same thing. Asians deal with the same thing. Their parents set standards for what they should be. It's just up to that person. I feel like, in that particular mind to do what you want to do. Honestly.
Ooh, that's interesting. That is a debate.
Let me say that there's a saying. I think both of you have points.
Right.
There's a saying that says leaders are born, not made. Sometimes circumstances make you have to galvanize the time, the circumstance, and whatever the situation, and it brings out of you what's needed, necessary for that time and that moment.
Right.
So both of you have aspects of, fact and truth, but what's in you comes out of you based on the circumstance.
And I want to chime in, if I can. I think that what we are negating to maybe mention is the strength that comes from the hardship that we've endured as a culture. So subsequently, a lot of our great leaders were born out of the worst kinds of circumstances and homes that did not help to facilitate openness and conversation. And as a result of coming from an household or an environment or culture or neighborhood that did not facilitate the pursuit of bigger dreams than, dribbling a basketball or picking up a microphone, you do have these environments where people feel like, well, I want to give that to my community because I didn't have it. So I don't want us to get away from the fact that just because we do have environments that didn't facilitate those bigger dreams or those more educated conversations, that they didn't breed leaders who then created those environments for their kids and their community.
I totally agree with that because I look at myself as a leader. You get what I'm saying? But what I do feel is that it wouldn't be such a rarity in the community if we had more open environments.
And see, I don't agree with that either though. Because I think that there is a great deal of leadership in our communities. Now, how we utilize that leadership.
That's why.
Yes.
Now, I think, and this is just my perspective, I feel like if you look at, I think Kendrick Lamar and 21 Savage are just as great leaders as our councilmen. Now, I think that what you use that leadership for, determines maybe your impact on a larger scale and throughout time, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I had a guy that a guy in my community, his name is Trayon White, who went to UMBS, good friend of mine. He led a Bible study. That was how I met him. And he became a 7th Ward councilman this year, or 8th Ward councilman last year. And Trayon came from the same kind of environments in Southeast that a lot of us did. And he was able to turn that into something amazing. And now he's inspiring that same kind of leadership in his own community with a lot of his friends who are now opening, community activism and back to school programs to try to help kids who may not have the access that some of our kids have, who come from better or more educated or more financially expansive opportunities. So I do think that we're breeding leaders. And I don't think that it's necessarily as rare as it seems. I think that we have to do a better job of maybe facilitating those leadership opportunities into something bigger. I think that we have to do a better job of spreading the same knowledge and education that our current leaders have to the next generation of kids. Because a lot of times we do create leaders and they don't give back. You know what I mean? They get their money, they get their fame, they get their prestige, and then they move to LA with it. and they forget that they from here. You know what I mean? Or they get their money and they get those big dollars and they go to Atlanta with it.
And that's why
That could use that same knowledge and power here. I have a lot of friends who have made money on the back end as far as music, as far as production, engineering, things that really require skill.
Yeah.
And you know, they go to Atlanta, they go to LA, they get their money, and they forget you from Tacoma Park, baby. Like, you gotta come back and give that to these kids here. But on the other end, like perfect example, I have a friend who's from Nashville. His name is 6 Cents. He produced the Road to Paradise. Make sure y'all go get that. That's on iTunes right now. You can pre-order it via So, like Sick is from Nashville. He moved to Atlanta because that's just kind of where it was happening in music. And now that Sick is like he's produced for Drake at this point. He did Location by Khalid, which of course was $1 billion record on the back end, even though they only got millions on the front. But now he and all of his friends that are doing production and engineering, they're doing after school programs alongside Microsoft in Atlanta to try to teach other kids how to do engineering. Right? So, and I think that that's the thing that we're missing as far as our leaders. Not just to go on Instagram and put your shiny watch on and show the kids, nah, you can get money too, you can get money too. Well, how? Right? Because a lot of the problem, I feel like with leadership, I don't think that our leaders are rare, I don't agree with that. But what I do think is rare is our leaders reaching back and telling these kids, this is how I did it. This was the road that I took. Not just putting on your watch.
I feel like that's what disintegrates it. That's what disintegrates it, because then it breeds ignorance, because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's just,
we do need to do a better job of teaching kids how to get there, not just telling them.
But that's what I think as far as my definition of a leader. If you're not reaching back, you're not a leader. I'm sorry. You made it, but you're not a leader.
Fair enough.
That's what I look at.
Touche. Well, hey, listen, man, it's been a great discussion. Hey, before we get out of here, we just got a selection from Miss Mia. We're gonna get here. She's gonna tell you about her new album that's dropped. That's out now, because it'll be out by the time it's come. So it's out now. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get into it, man. It's about TV, man. See y'all. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. So I'm gonna do it.
this ain't a good shit.
Y'all need more
We need that cushion on this But
You want slide?
I gotta get a
Oh yeah.
Oh, you be hanging out. I can't lose.